bridge collapsed. The mountain road washed out. All the signs are obscured by fog. Your only directions are detours. Eventually it dawns on you. Sometimes you need to get lost to discover where you're supposed to be. Welcome to Merlin's Barn.
Welcome to yet another episode of Merlin's Barn, broadcasting to you from Fort Blanket, south of the Yukon. And this evening we have myself, Merlin,
Tasha,
Nicole,
Matt,
all four of us,
Whoa.
and you with us listening. We made a mistake this evening, and we didn't order Chinese. So I know that many of you will be bereft, there will be weeping, there will be crawling under tables, and possibly just shutting off the podcast because we didn't do that. But we did find in the kitchen one misfortune cookie, to which Tasha is going to do the honors of telling us what our misfortune will be tonight.
Ooh, it popped.
That was a new one.
dramatic opening.
It popped.
ta-da!
It's a Christmas popper.
Yeah.
What?
A Christmas cracker, thank you very much.
Cracker. Thank you.
I watched too much Doctor Who to not, yeah.
I never had those growing up.
What does it say?
Well, it's relevant to my day at work and my
Okay.
thoughts and feelings. You'll be able to achieve success in your career. Will the children listen to me tomorrow?
No.
No mention of
No.
screaming into a
I'm-
void?
I'm going to end up crying after work tomorrow again, I swear. Woo!
I would really like one that says something about screaming into the void or the abyss. Wait a sec, do you scream into the void or do you shout and scream into the abyss?
The void is for screaming, the abyss is for going.
Is it for going or staring? Maybe it's you stare into the abyss and you scream into the void.
I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said, I stared into the abyss and it honked back at me.
That's good.
Yep. I was like, I am really impressed.
Oh, that's
I like
beautiful.
that.
That's beautiful. All right, so we're actually going to maybe make an attempt to focus tonight. And we're going to bring you Christmas gardens in Baltimore, and you're going to learn about the crab garland,
Garland.
a la Nicole. And we're going to let Matt start us off with this deep dive into the Christmas gardens and trains and things we fill our houses with around Christmas.
That's right. So this is our Christmas episode. That's not any indication of when you're going to hear it, though. It's just when we are recording it.
This could be Labor Day for all we know that you're hearing it. We just sort of like pull them out of a
Easter.
pot and upload them.
There's a spinning wheel. We just sort of, it's like bingo. We just
Whoop.
So, last year, Nicole and I were actually hosting Christmas at our house after several years. Yes, after many years of not hosting Christmas. So we actually were like, oh, we're going to put up a tree. So we decided we're going to get a live tree so we could plant it. That didn't work out. It died.
Bad idea.
Oh no, I'm sorry for your
Did you try
loss.
planting it in the living room, or did you actually like take it outside and put it in dirt? Because that could be our issues.
It eventually got into the dirt. That was part of the issue.
Oh, okay.
So was some little mites that were on it or something.
The mistake is we kept it in the house too long.
Oh no,
It should have been.
it got too comfortable.
So, but we decided we're going to get a tree, and we thought we will get a appropriate native species of tree, which would be white pine, which actually that's the only one that's a native. The Norway spruce and blue spruce Christmas trees not native to this area. So
But they're so pretty.
they
Well
are.
intentioned. We were well intentioned.
And where do you buy a white pine Christmas tree? Well, you go to the nursery where they are 5 to 6 feet tall before the root ball.
Ew.
This only works because we have a tractor and I'm able to move the tree with the tractor because it has this root ball that's a couple of feet in diameter and weighs like a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah, I don't
My
know if our
sister
floors
had-
would like that.
So the
Sorry.
roots.
My sister has requested we never do that.
I'll try and do it again next year.
I'm trying to
With taller ceilings.
Oh, true.
trying to comprehend that. I'm assuming the root ball then weighs more than I do. There is more root
Oh, yes.
to a baby tree than there is Tasha that exists.
Correct.
Well, said baby tree was also taller than Tasha if it was planted in the ground.
I'm only talking about the roots. I am content with the tree part, the root part for baby trees.
It has all that water and that photosynthesizing to do.
So this root ball is like, well, if you look online about ideas what to do with your live Christmas tree that you buy at Home Depot that's like 3 or 4 feet tall and has a cute little root ball that's like, 15 inches in diameter. This is adorable suggestions of like, take a galvanized wash basin or, line a laundry basket and then put some burlap around it or something. It's like, oh, that's adorable and cute. Our biggest pot we had is one of those like plastic, like whiskey barrel looking things. And the tree laughed at it. It's not even going to fit in that. It's like, we need to put this thing in something. And Nicole's sister like points out that one of the spare water troughs we had for the horses and was like, why not one of those? Like, yes, it'll fit in that. So we have this 3-foot long water trough with a tree sitting in it, and we drag it into the house. Drag is the correct term, I think.
I think the only way I could even accomplish any of this is if the roof opened up and I could use Paul's crane or something like that.
Oh, we need the wrecker back.
So the top of the tree is like scraping the ceiling because we just have normal like 8-foot tall ceilings. So it's like, okay, well, there won't be a star. That's all right, though. We have a tree. It's nice.
The tree is the star.
Also, we have a water trough sitting in the living room now. Like, this is sort of awkward looking. It's kind of hard to put gifts around it.
At least we know it's waterproof.
Yes.
That's fair.
Leak-proof.
Absolutely. So I'm like, what can I do with this? So it's like, I'll put a little raised platform around it with some plywood on top, like the height of the water trough, to kind of cover up the water trough. And then I can take this Mark's train set that my in-laws had picked up at a flea market somewhere near Baltimore.
Is that the one that's around our tree this year?
It is, and it's circa 1965.
It's so wonderful.
It's like, oh, cool, I'll set this up. So I painted the plywood white, and I sprinkled some fake plastic snow on it, and then dug out some of the porcelain Christmas Village houses from like years past to put.
And a train garden was born.
That's right. I had somehow, accidentally, without even trying, had tapped into the cultural zeitgeist of Baltimore.
Your inner Baltimorean.
I remember
How
you
you feel
going.
about it, hon?
I remember you starting to go down this rabbit hole after you created it, and then just finding out how much it was Baltimore.
Yeah.
Is it my turn now? Okay.
It can be.
Okay, I think it's my turn. Yay. So, and further, and what we're reading today is another one of Matt's just amazing deep dives. So, moving onwards, the Maryland Center for History and Culture has an excellent long-form article on the history of Christmas or train gardens. In fact, I was reading it earlier. It's fantastic, with pictures and circles and arrows. And quoted here is their description of the early pre-railway Christmas garden. Briefly described, an original early Christmas garden in the late 19th century was a raised wooden platform, that sounds familiar, whose central feature was a Christmas tree stand. Its perimeter was bounded by a quaint picket fence, and its interior contained various miniature figures, often a creche, a dollhouse, or a miniature secular village. It could be populated with figures and animals, and landscaped with either winter or green scenery.
Yeah, I missed it.
If you have a giraffe.
I missed the picket fence.
I
I missed the picket fence, but otherwise I was pretty much nailing it.
We didn't have a picket.
Did you have animals though?
I don't think I had any animals.
No animals.
No, it was a pretty simple one.
Dollhouse? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're
We
getting.
have the little
There's a little village.
pets houses, but the ones that are surrounded.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had the village.
These Christmas gardens first appeared in the late 1800s in the German and Moravian immigrant communities in Baltimore. With their penchant for intricate mechanisms and miniature handicrafts, such as cuckoo clocks, and the intricate carving work of Old World creches, it is no surprise that these soon became animated with movement. In the Maryland Center collection, their earliest animated garden is from 1915. The creation of Frank Bailey, it featured a water-powered mill, complete with a pond, mill race, and small boat. A Ferris wheel, Dutch mill, and other garden items were mechanically driven by clockwork mechanisms.
Now, you were reading that article I didn't write it in the paper here, but did you see where he had like the water pipes running into the basement to power all that?
Yeah, he had all these little like bands and belts running all these. There was a Santa's workshop with all the little elves being powered and moved individually. It's insanely creative.
I know we plan to talk about the more modern ones later, but that definitely makes me think of the circus train.
Yes, yeah.
Because his little world there has the train, the animals, and then the buildings, and there's little worlds within each building to the point that there's like movement in the buildings of like the little people.
Yeah, and then something else it reminds me of too. Let's remember, look at Mike so I can be heard. Was anybody here ever go to Roadside America before it closed? It was up off of Route 78.
No, I never got to that.
Roadside America was this massive train layout that I think was started in the 40s. And unfortunately, it was only sold it was shut down and sold a couple years ago. And it was one of those big basically roadside attractions from when you were driving days with your family from motel to motel. What's that?
Like Dinosaur Land.
Yes. And this was, he had all these little villages and all these little setups in there, and there were so many and so much of it was just handmade from scratch. And there was a little blacksmith shop with the blacksmith hammering away, and lights making it look like there was a fire. And it was just, everything was set up like that throughout the whole place.
For more Roadside America, see a previous or future episode. I'm not sure which.
Yes, I should shut up. We'll go back.
Because we've actually talked about not that, but other Roadside America attractions.
Yeah, that was actually the last episode we recorded. So good for stopping me. Let's go back to...
And to clarify for the listeners, the circus display Tasha's talking about is this incredible HO scale city scene and circus train layout that is a display layout that is actually built like it's in a circus wagon.
It's amazing.
That is taken to train shows, and it shows up at train shows in Baltimore, and then actually I just saw it just last month at a train show in Syracuse, New York. So he gets around
a little bit. Your picture of him packing it up. Well, Tasha, we'll refocus. We'll go on to your turn.
Electricity.
By the 1930s, miniature electric lights and small electric motors were transforming how these gardens were animated. And shortly afterward came the trains. Whether you believe America's love affair with trains around the Christmas tree came from positive associations of rail travel to see relatives around the holidays, soldiers returning home from war, or of the Christmas gifts delivered by fast mail trains. Or you take the cynical view that commercial enterprises and clever marketing from Lionel Marks and other toy manufacturers created the desire. One cannot deny that it is there. Like the Thunderbloom Santa Claus and whichever version of the Grinch movie is your favorite, trains belong around Christmas trees. Some of this was practical in a small home, say a Baltimore row home. The vernacular housing of the city, there isn't room for a permanent space of a toy train display. And so over time, the German Christmas garden of Victorian-era European immigrants developed into the train garden.
Oh, it's my turn now.
It is.
Yes, it is. I'll try and stay focused this time. After the watermills and clockwork Ferris wheels, what did Detroit Christmas garden become? Well, right away, scale and proportion go right out the window. Trains, cars, people, airplanes, buildings, they could be any size. The pumps at the Sinclair station might be larger than the train going by. Secularism and religion blend and morph together. You might find Snoopy in the manger, lichen, wood, paper, sawdust, and paint made up the scenery. There's no room for nuance. Trees are green, the ground is white for snow, the road is black for asphalt, maybe there's some gray for slush. The animation doesn't stop with the railroad, though. There might be crossing gates that come down, or a ski slope hanging from the tree with plastic cartoon characters skiing down and returning on a cable to descend again. All put together by busy fathers in between work and sleep, sometime around Thanksgiving, to be enjoyed through New Year's before being packed away in the cellar until next year.
So that's kind of a description of the train gardens. And what was curious, a little bit of the rabbit hole. Now we're going down on the Matt's murder board. We're running the string between pushpins now. Is the etymology of the phrase. Pretty universally, it's Christmas garden. You search Christmas garden with or without quote marks on Google, you'll find lots of hits. But if you search train garden in quote marks, that's a Maryland thing. When I did a Google search, I had 109 hits. 88 of them had to do with Maryland Christmas train displays.
Oh, wow.
So somehow we've got train garden locked up. Lifelike Products was a big maker of toy and scale trains. They used to be based in Baltimore. There are scenic items like the lichen, the grass mats, and boxes of miniature coal and railroad ballast. They were labeled and sold as being for train layouts and Christmas gardens. But this was like, it had really been a thing to actually have those.
Best part is the coal doubles as a Christmas gift for bad children.
Nice.
Or good children who are engineering students.
Oh, that's a conundrum.
Now Nicole's not talking to me, so I'll just keep reading.
No, but think about it. Think about you. You get the coal. Even if you're an engineering student, you're also like, what did this mean about me as a person?
Oh.
Sad noises.
Yes, is that sad engineering noises?
Yes.
So engineering.
But if these living room displays were not enough, Maryland firehouses in and nearby to Baltimore compete to this day with even larger and elaborate train gardens, with construction beginning in October and taking up entire social halls. Or you said some of them, they actually move the engines out.
Yeah, I can. Do you want me to go on the side or wait till you finish there?
Go for it. Like,
yeah. Well, I pulled a little bit when I was doing some reading earlier. I used to work with the Fire Museum be on the board of the Fire Museum of Maryland, and we had a Christmas display in there. And then you'd find like Glendon, Maryland, the fire hall there used to have a train display. I think it's Engine House 45 in Baltimore.
yes.
In Mount Washington, that one still has an amazing train garden in it. And just a little bit from the Fire Museum of, excuse me, my microphone attacked me. From the Fire Museum of Maryland page, to quote them, the history of train gardens is very well known to us. In 1917, Captain Eugene Daly of the Baltimore City Fire Department is said to have created the first Christmas garden at the Engine Company 28 fire station. Apparently, the tradition spread and grew until in 1939. They sort of put the kibosh on them because the firefighters were spending more time working on their trains than actually concentrating on things like, I don't know, maintaining the equipment to put out fires. But
Well, what's more important, train playtime, or actually like doing your job and putting out fires? Like, what's more fun here?
train playtime, you don't die that way.
Exactly.
I just think it's wonderful that it was so widespread that like the city was like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Playtime is not a problem.
One of my favorite firehouse train gardens is actually if you go to Hanover, PA. The Hanover Fire Museum is this gorgeous restored fire hall, and both the entry area and both levels of it are completely taken up with train layouts of all different scales. It's just sort of, for me, it's the childhood wonderland. I can just stand in there and stare for hours or until Tasha feels overwhelmed by noise and smoke.
Smoke makes me nauseous. I don't know what's in it because I know it's fake, so it's not. But it makes me nauseous.
Meanwhile, I have students who, like, the train goes by in the train garden at school, and they're just like sniffing the smoke. I'm like, stop that! Can't be good for you in any way, shape, or form.
No, it is not.
Yeah, it's a you do see. So there's the train garden you said in Hanover.
There's the one in Hanover. Then there's, well, you continue to spread. You find them like even if you get out of the train gardens and the fire museums, you go up to the World War II American Experience north of Gettysburg.
Theirs is actually like an old department store display, right?
Yeah, they have one of the, like, if you watch the movie, was it A Christmas Story?
Yep, Higby's department store.
Yeah, and he's staring in the department store. They have, at the World War II American Experience, they have one of the old department store display train sets with a full, with like multiple big tops and a Lionel Circus train and everything.
Yeah, I think most any city across America you can find a Christmas train garden, but the concentration of them in and around Baltimore.
Yeah.
If you want to go the department store route, the mall, the Kenilworth Mall in Towson has always been the one that like my mom took us to as kids. it was always put on your Christmas jammies, we're taking pictures of Santa, and we're gonna go stare at the trains for a bit. And it was just like always so magical because they had a lot of like the little mechanical figures. So besides the train going around, there were so many little vignettes happening between like ice skaters or a carousel. There's so many beautiful little intricate things, one taking off the other and going in this beautiful like clockwork.
Yeah, and I don't remember, having moved down from New England, I don't remember these train setups in the fire halls or in the malls as much around Christmas. Although somebody can write in and correct me, and maybe I blocked out something. I do
They were just
remember.
deprived.
Yeah, it could be deprived. I do remember, like, it wasn't a train garden, but one of those sort of Christmas gardens that the Polish and Italian couple next door had that was a creche, and like the village of Bethlehem that I think literally took over half their living room.
Kenilworth Mall still has a big train garden.
Yes, yeah, my students talk about it.
It's, currently this year, I was just checking that Facebook group, Christmas Gardens, Hop a Train to Old Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on Facebook, it's a great group to check out about these, both the historic photos and then current photos and videos of the current gardens that are still set up at the firehouses and at Kenilworth Mall.
You have that, then you have, like we were talking about earlier, 34th Street in Baltimore. If you go down to 34th Street, which they decorate a whole block of because of the movie Miracle on 34th Street, there's one house that, I haven't been down there in a couple of years, but there's one house that used to have multiple train gardens going on. There'd be one down to the sidewalk. There'd be one up on their porch where you saw the train come in and out of little flaps above a window.
That's cute.
And it was hanging down from the porch, and you could see it run back inside the house. One year he got especially adventurous, enthusiastic. I'm missing the word here, but he actually had a scale gondola going from his front yard from the train set in his front yard to the roof of a house across the street. So that's an amazing one to go see. And then on the taking the piece de resistance of the taking over the living rooms, I think we have to come to the crab garland.
Crab garland. Oh, Uncle Mitch. Oh, so we all have those family friends where you grow up calling them aunts or uncle, and you one day realize they have absolutely no blood relation to you whatsoever. Your dad and your uncle just went to Catholic school together.
It's survived.
Was it a Catholic school thing?
They were Catholics. They went to Catholic school. That's how they knew each other.
Mine was too. But then also Paul married into the family. But like, still, half my dad's friends he went to school with were Uncle Pat, Uncle Gary, Aunt Trish.
Oh,
It was all Catholic school.
Oh, okay. So Uncle Mitch put up an insane amount of decorations every year. The way some people decorate their lawns, he would decorate the inside of his house. And a good third of the first floor, and again, it's a row home, so it's only 14 feet wide, but a good third of that was just filled with decorations. And one of the key features was the crab garland. And those who have no idea what crab garland is, I made that up because there's no word for what you call it, but they were crab shells that they would save, because if you're in Maryland, you have steamed crabs, and that shell, it could be useful for something, like decorations. So these shells were saved, cleaned, I hope, painted, and then little seams hot glued into them, usually cotton balls and some tiny little plastic figures. And then these were suspended from garland, like the plastic garland you'd buy at the dollar store, and then strung up all around the house. Like crown molding, but garland with crabs.
I love that comparison.
You need like
It
some
was like,
sort of,
crab, and he had also Christmas lights around the ceiling.
you need some sort of high-pitched voices singing Christmas carols to go with it, almost like the Fish Head song.
No.
But this crab garland, it had little scenes in the shells.
Yeah, hot glued in. Every expense was spared. There's we need something to keep the kids busy.
Hot glue shit inside shells.
And all this was suspended over top of an elaborate Baltimore train garden in this person's front room.
Well, see, it evolved over the years to the point where, I mentioned crab garland, and everybody looked at me like I had two heads because they didn't know what crab garland was. I'm like, you mean you didn't have little crab shells? Like,
I feel we missed out in New England. We should have had like a lobster garland or something like that.
but I don't know what part of the crab you would have saved.
Oh, the lobster?
Lobster.
I don't know. It'd be very creepy actually because you sort of have the tail or the face. That would just be, yeah. Nope. What's that?
Is the back not safe?
It'd be sort of weird just having a disembodied back of a lobster.
Well, that's what we do with the crabs.
That's what a lobster backs are. Ain't got a face on it or a tail, but that's a lobster back. We just made a garland out of them.
No, but they're the perfect shape.
My wife told me to stop.
So Uncle Mitch, over the years, I've come to believe that for some people, decorating for the holidays is their hobby. You start about Thanksgiving and you continue through the new year with your layout.
With your crab garland.
In a tiny row home in Baltimore, I have no idea where he stored all this stuff. But it started out with what they've been just, a train garden. It was your synthetic tree on top of. His was not raised much. It was, I think, only 4 inches tall because it was on the floor.
Yeah, it was pretty low. Maybe just above the molding or something.
Yeah, and I don't think much was cut. I think it was a 4x8 sheet of plywood. Because you could buy a 2x4x8, a 2x4x8, and then you'd only have to make one cut. Simple yet elegant.
Yeah.
And you have the train going around it in various village pieces, and then once that side got full, he made a second train garden, but this one was more of a toy train. I remember it being Mickey Mouse themed. See, Uncle Mitch and his wife Aunt Betsy, they loved Snoopy and Disney, everything. So, and then eventually, once the other side got full, he created the North Pole.
Oh my goodness!
See, the North Pole was a half sheet of plywood.
Are there photographs of this anywhere?
I don't think so.
It's so sad. This is something that needs to be like not a coffee table book of
Well,
this.
the North Pole was for the snow themed decorations.
Yeah.
And it included, I think there was because my Aunt Betsy also loved penguins. Well, still loves penguins.
You cannot. I used to have a button that simply said, "It is impossible to look at a penguin and remain angry."
True, but it was a little mechanical thing, plasticky, and the penguins would get kind of brought up on this little tier, and they'd get dropped down, and they would ski to the bottom, and they'd catch, and they'd come back up,
penguins,
and they'd ski back down, and they'd go back up, and they'd go back down. And then you may have had a gondola thing too. I mean,
yeah, it was.
I just remember the one side was more cartoonish. The other side was the old school train village. The other side was the Disney train village.
Christmas Eve at Mitch and Betsy's, everybody hung out in the kitchen, and you could take turns. Only 2 or 3 people could fit in the living room or parlor to see the train garden.
Oh my god!
Because it was the room was so full of all the decorations.
That's so wonderful.
Well, it didn't start out that way because it used to be you could fit an armchair. And when we were little, I think it was my Uncle Mitch that dressed up as Santa. But if we got there early, we could meet Santa. I'm pretty sure it was just Uncle Mitch in a Santa costume. But at some point, we'll make the chair in there. I think at some point they retired that chair. But it used to be, because the room is, there was like a small little walkway to the front door. So the room itself was probably 10 by 10. So at some point you couldn't fit the chair in anymore. But yeah, they also had because they also had dogs, so they had the block it off from the rest of the house so the dogs couldn't get in there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they've always had dogs.
I wish there was a video.
So, Nicole and I were talking about this in a drive up. I'll just interject for a moment here. And so, this is free social media. It's free Facebook. So
it's before anything actually existed.
Whoa.
It's before you had a digital camera like in your pocket all the time. And so things like this Christmas garden, or we're talking about, and this is an aside for another time, the shore places, the Baltimore, there's shore place that they would go in the summer. These things they were just part of the culture of a group of people in an area. And the stuff is not documented because it's just what people do.
Yeah.
Until someone like me comes from outside who is not from Baltimore and is like, this is fascinating, we should talk about it. So this is my little exhortation to dear listeners. Look around in your community, in your family, and your friends, and look at what you do, and then try to look at it from an outside perspective, from someone from another state. And maybe you need to document this social microcosm of where you're at, because there may be something special and you don't even realize that you're in it.
Long story short, show us your weird hobbies.
But they won't be weird to you. They'll be weird to us when we see them.
Yeah.
So no judgment.
Actually, I think that would be a good wind down for the evening. Because that just ties right into our. Matt was saying, the email address. You've probably heard us say it before, but if you have photographs or if you have stories of these little cultural nuances to your area, whether it be Baltimore or somewhere else in the country, or you're making a lobster garland and hanging up, which I never did see in New England. And Tasha's making faces at me for doing the accent. Please send them to merlinsbarn@gmail.com. And you can also get a hold of us through our Instagram, or you can make comments on our Substack as well. And anybody else have anything before we wind it down?
Nothing from me. Do you have any closing thought about Christmas in Baltimore? Other than I'm certain that somewhere in Baltimore right now there is a Snoopy in a manger in a creche.
And go to 34th Street. You have to see it. If you have not seen 34th Street, go to 34th Street in Hamden. That is true Christmas.
Good night, hon.
Thank you for listening.
Good night.